Hello, it's Nikki Thompson, and I thought I would do this live this morning. I'm currently at the Botanic Gardens, and it's so beautiful. Like, the weather is stunning. You can probably hear the cicadas and the birds, and I'm getting nailed by mosquitoes. And so I had this whole beautiful intention to be here all day and be blissed out in nature, and fuck, like, these mozzies are killing me. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get the important things done, get some videos done, and then I'm going to go somewhere safer. I'm not going to be eaten alive. And that may be at more of an open space, because I think it's all of these trees around me that are encouraging the mosquitoes. And I feel like there could be some stagnant water right behind me too. So obviously that's not helpful. Anyway, today's video is all about giving yourself some breathing room. So I did a quick little story this morning, and I thought, you know what, I had to do that. To do a story, I've got a minute. If I do it longer than a minute, it breaks it all up. It breaks it up and cuts off the end of it. So it only puts up the first minute. So doing a story, I have to be really concise, and I'm getting better at it. But I love doing live videos because I can kind of just get in a bit more detail. So the kids have gone back to school. I have 3 children. They're all at school this year. This is the second year they've all been at school, and they've had 2 months of holidays. Oh my God, they're eating me through my shirt. They've had 2 months of school holidays, and that's been great. I've really enjoyed the holidays because we've gone away. We've done some great trips. We've gone horse riding. You know, my eldest went on some camps, and we've had a really good time. And we also got a dog at Christmas. So, and she's beautiful, a beautiful Labradoodle. She'll be 1 soon. So we got to skip past the puppy stage, which I'm very grateful for. And she's just the most incredible dog. So we've had a lot of fun these school holidays. So it was really hard for me when the kids went back. And I've usually been really excited when they've gone back, because I'm usually going back to my job. And usually I've been trying to juggle the kids during the school holidays with work and all that kind of stuff. And for those of you following along at home, I lost my job actually just before Christmas, and just because of everything going on. So that was kind of challenging. It was fucking challenging. And I took some time to really get used to the concept. And I've always run my own businesses online as well. And I've had a job, and the job really gave me the security, the financial security that meant that I didn't have to go all in my businesses. And it was really just a lot of fun, and I could take as long as I needed and all of those kinds of things. And I didn't have to put the pressure on my business to pay everything. So I was really enjoying that. I was really enjoying doing my job. I love my job. I was a kindergarten teacher, and I've been a kindergarten teacher for over 13 years. I've done a range of things, but I've been a kindergarten teacher and a marketing person, and they're the 2 things that I love. And so I'm like, okay, how can I combine those? So I run a range of things. I run a range of women's programs. I run kids programs. I run a podcast. I run coaching for women. And yeah, it was just a huge shift to kind of let that pressure go. So anyway, it felt quiet on Monday when the kids had gone back to school. The house was super quiet. Luckily, my dog's there, so her and I just hung out. But it made me think about how I had this huge long list of things I wanted to get done on Monday. There's a new program that I've got coming out for parents of young children, about supporting them with early literacy and early numeracy concepts. And then I've got a kids creative club happening. It's an in-person event. And then I also run my women's workshops. So I have this long list of stuff I want to create. And I didn't get any of it done. I didn't do any of it. I sat on the couch, I ate, I watched Netflix, and I jumped in the pool as well. I didn't even go for my morning walk because we were running late. Oh, maybe I did. I can't even remember. It's 2 days ago and I barely remember. So it was a really interesting day. And I'm like, you know what? Mentally, I am still processing a lot of what's gone on. And I feel stronger by having that rest. And sometimes we need to take a breath. We need to take a minute to breathe and to prepare ourselves for the next stage. So I'm really excited now, and it's taken me a couple of months to get to this point, but I'm really excited about creating these things and having this opportunity. It also meant that all week I've been able to walk my kid or take my kids to school, walk my daughter in, she's only in year one, and be able to do that without rushing. I haven't had to rush them so that I can get to work. I haven't had to do any of that. And I've really, really enjoyed it. So for me, a bit of my own journey is that when my kids were really little, my first son was born, we had a lot of financial issues with the flooding down in Brisbane. We lost the business and I had to go back to work. My son was only 4 months old. So I had to put him into daycare and I had to go straight back to work, and I was working full time as a teacher. And I never got to have those times. I never got to have the beautiful first year at home that, I see a lot of people have. And I get quite jealous of that, actually. I never had that. And then when my second son was born, I was 7 months pregnant and we were homeless, essentially. We didn't have anywhere to live. We were living in a teacher's accommodation up north. And so when the contract finished there, we lost the house. And so we were house sitting. We stayed at my auntie's place for a couple of weeks. And then we eventually found, through a friend of a friend, this 2-bedroom shack that was on someone's property. And then I gave birth 3 weeks later. And again, just very stressful. Like, just the finances of that was very stressful. And I, again, didn't get to enjoy the bliss of having a newborn and knowing that everything's safe and going to be okay. So I think for me, that was really challenging. And then when my third one was born, there was just lots of other issues. Things had started to settle down financially, but there were just some other issues. And I had postnatal depression after each of the children. And sometimes I think back and it's like, well, there was just a lot going on. So I think maybe it was just pretty standard response to what was going on in my life at that time. And then, and now things, I hate the word like, oh, she's so resilient, or you just need to be more resilient, or well done, you are so resilient, because it means that you just have to keep going through shit all the time for it to be, and you just have to keep dealing with it. And I feel resilient. I also feel quite strong. But I also feel like this was an opportunity for me to have some time that I haven't always had over the years since my first child was born. And he's going to be 12 soon. So it's been a long 12, 13 years since I got pregnant the first time. And now I get to have this time. And I think for me, I was feeling a lot of guilt. Like, okay, I've got to get things happening right now. I've got to go out and get a job straight away or do all these things. But for me, it's been really beautiful to have some time with my kids and not have that pressure, and to also really enjoy creating again and working with women. I've really connected with a lot of women over the last couple of months as well, and supporting women who are going through these things that I've got a little bit of experience in. It's very stressful, and it can be also a time where they say you've got to get to rock bottom and then bounce up. I don't agree with that. I feel like you don't have to go all the way to the bottom. I don't think you should wait till it's that shit before you get support or find help. But there's also this mentality that asking for help can be a sign of weakness. And I think for me, my biggest weakness is not asking for help, and not asking for help when I really needed it, because I felt like the stories that played in my head is, okay, well, you had this many kids, or this was your decision to get pregnant, and all my children were planned children. They weren't, an accident, and they were all planned, and love them all very, very much. And I love being a mum. And I think for me, asking for help could have made things so much easier for me and my family a long time ago. So taking a breather when you are going through a transition or have just been through a transition, whether it's been the school holidays or change of employment or moving house or having a child, allowing ourselves to take a breath and to ask for support is really, really important. So I would love to know, you can either comment on this post here, on this video, or send me a private message if you would prefer, but what help do you need? What help would you love? Because, we can have those friends who are like, oh, just call me if you need anything. And then you're like, well, I really would love to have a shower, but I can't ask someone to come over to watch the kids so I can have a shower because that seems weird or that seems trivial. I'd love to have a nap because I haven't slept in 3 days, but I feel weird to ask a friend to come over just so I can go and sleep. For me, my mum passed away well before my kids were born, and so I feel as though a mum really is the one that understands how to support you through all of those things, but not everyone has that blessing. So I would love to know what help you need, because if we can actually identify what help we need, we can start to work out how to get that help. And if there's help that I can offer, I would love to do that. I've been connecting with women around the coast, the Sunshine Coast, around Australia, around the world through social media and through online programs. And there's just something about when you are helping people, it makes you feel so much better, and it makes you feel like this is why you're here, is to help other people. So if you need help, send me a message or leave a comment below of what that help is, and we can brainstorm ways of how to ask for it, how to get that help so that you can feel supported. And if you need to have a breather after a big transition, then please do that. There's a lot of people moving house right now. There's a lot of people changing jobs right now. There's a lot of people that are homeschooling and pulling their kids out of school altogether. There's a lot of change going on. And I think it's for the better. I think that it's obviously doesn't always feel like that in the moment, but sometimes these big shifts can be for the better. And I know that for me, my life is completely different to what I expected even at this time last year. And I'm enjoying that. So I would love to know where you're at and what help do you need. Leave a comment or post a message, and I will answer those for you. Anyway, I hope you have an incredible day. I'm going to go and get out of this mozzie space. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.